So I've been using the Fusion Pro for just about a month on 3 separate games from 3 separate genres: first-person shooter, third-person shooter, and driving. Today I'll be showing you guys my present-day skill level on these games, while also noting some really important details about the Fusion Pro that completely set it aside from the rest. Our first-person shooter is going to be Warzone. Our third-person shooter is, unfortunately, Fortnite, god damn it. And our driving game is BeamNG. BeamNG is a realistic car simulator, so even though it's not that popular with this audience, it's still a good benchmark for driving games. If you're interested in a full Fusion Pro review where I go over all the tiny details and all the absolutely amazing features for this budget controller, I'll have mine up in the upper right hand corner and in the description down below. But enough fucking around, let's hop right into it. Just like my other X month progression videos, we're going to start off with some good old fashioned Fag Night. So on Fag Night, I use 3 of the 4 paddles. I have them mapped to A, X, and left D-pad, with left D-pad being my edit bind. When it comes to using the Fusion Pro on Fortnite, it's extremely precise. It's a lot quicker than my Wolverine, so I'm able to do very, very close quarters edits a lot faster and a lot more accurately on the Fusion Pro, as opposed to something like my Razer Wolverine Ultimate. The paddles make everything in Fortnite essentially effortless. Having A and X binded to a paddle means that when I'm moving around the map, I don't need to take my thumb off my thumbstick, so I'm always ready to build. And having X as one of my paddles is unbelievably useful for looting. It makes it a lot easier to go around houses a lot more confidently. You know, like at the drop of a dime, you could turn around and shoot someone in the face just after picking up a weapon. The Fusion Pro's comfortable build paired with this extremely useful feature set make it one of the best controllers for Fortnite in my opinion. If you do take interest in actually buying this controller, I'll leave a link down below. It'll likely be at a Best Buy or Amazon because the website is always out of stock. But moving on from Fortnite, we have our third-person shooter with Warzone. And I gotta say, I prefer this controller over keyboard and mouse and my Wolverine. The paddle layout I use in Warzone is extremely simple. I use all 4 paddles and I use them in an ABXY configuration with them being almost cross-patterned. That's the way I learned my paddles. And I gotta say, I'm a lot more confident in Warzone with this controller than I am with my Wolverine. The Wolverine's a lot more complex, and when it comes to how confident I am in Warzone, I gotta say, I'm a lot more confident with the Fusion Pro. The simplicity tied with its extremely comfortable design make it so much fun to use, and it's extremely easy with Warzone. Looting is quick and efficient, fights take absolutely no time if your aim is dog shit like mine, and in general it's a pretty good time with Warzone with the controller, although I do have to say, it's a bit annoying trying to drive. The trigger stops keep you at half throttle, so when you want to drive, you have to turn your trigger stops off. And if you're retarded like me, you forget to turn them back on midway through game, so yeah. This controller has provided me with the best Warzone experience I've had in quite some time, and I could highly recommend it for this game. Finally, we have our driving game in BeamNG. This controller is perfect for driving games, specifically for the ability to take off all 4 paddles at the exact same time with the mod pack. Or not the mod pack, the paddle pack, whatever the fuck they call it, I don't know. I also feel like the triggers on this controller are a tiny bit smaller than that of the stock Xbox controller thumbsticks, but I'm not 100% certain about that one. With the ability to take off all my paddles and use these extremely nice triggers, driving is essentially a breeze. Everything in this game is extremely realistic aside from the steering, but that's what makes it so easy to use this controller. The unrealistic arcade-like or arcade speed-like steering is what makes this game so fun, but difficult. You steer way too fast with ultra-realistic cars, so you end up spinning out a lot. The Fusion Pro gives me an extremely precise amount of control over the way my car moves, and that's something that's extremely useful for a game like this. When it comes to driving on the Fusion Pro and the Wolverine, it's vastly different. For whatever reason, the Wolverine's wider thumbsticks, while they should be more accurate, I don't know what it is about them. I can't really drive as well as I can with the Fusion Pro, but I don't know. So over the past month, I've gotten pretty decent on the Fusion Pro in the games that I've been playing. It's an extremely easy controller to use, it's an extremely easy controller to get used to, and it's something I can 110% recommend for people out there who aren't trying to spend an enormous fortune on one of these controllers, or maybe I could recommend this to someone who's had a controller like an Elite or a Scuf, but had a bad experience. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'll have my personal full review of the Fusion Pro in the description of this video, as well as a link to the controller itself, but before we go, I need to shout out our members. Huge shout out to the Ballin' Boy, JG, Crazy B, Waterless, Heberbrine3, D, Jacques, and Ra. Thank you, boys. I love you guys so much. If you'd like to become a member, there's a join button down below, and while you're down there, drop a sub if you enjoyed this video. I plan on having a 3-month and a 6-month update for this controller, and I'll have a 1-year update on my Wolverine sometime in February. I'll also be doing this with my Razer Wolverine Tournament Edition when I get it, which should be soon. Don't quote me on that one. And I'll be doing this with many, many more controllers in the future, so if you're into this shit, there's buttons down below. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.